I seek the blessings of Sri Satya Sai Baba before I address this gathering and seek his blessings for all and every one of you who have gathered here on this pleasant occasion for the convocation of the Ajeenkya D Y Patil University. I take this opportunity to express a solemn gratitude to Honorable President Ma'am. I don't call her the former president, I call her the president, Srimati Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest at this occasion. Thank you, madam, for coming for this occasion. I feel fortunate to have a guiding light and inspiration, my father, Dr. D Y Patil, amongst us to grace this occasion. I'm honored to have my brother, Dr. Vijay D Patil here, who's the Chancellor of the D Y Patil Vidyapit in Navi Mumbai, along with Sri Adar Poonawala and Sri Hukumchand Sharma ji, who have very kindly consented to accept the doctorate from our university. So thank you for your gracious presence here. We are also privileged with the presence of Dr. David Pollard, the High Commissioner of Guyana in India. Dr. Pollard, thank you. This is your second time that you've come to the campus, so we are grateful for your presence here. Thank you very much. I think today this event is more for the students. It's for the individuals who are graduating. It's more about your aspirations, more about your dreams as to what you will do when you go out into the real world. And I think it's a very exciting opportunity that awaits you. So while we stand here celebrating this grand occasion, going through the rituals, and we queued up right from my office and we came in a procession to attend this gathering. But then I think my heart was going out to the children who are graduating here. And I think it's very important as to understand the feelings and emotions that go through them, because there's a journey that is coming to an end, or rather a journey which is about to begin, because this is your university life which is getting over. Now you're going into the real life and things will dramatically change for you from this moment onward. I would like to commend the faculty and the staff who put in their efforts in creating these fine graduates that will be awarded the degrees today, because I think we have some outstanding faculty. We have faculty from different parts of the world. I would also like to thank our expat faculty who comes here from different parts of the world to give their knowledge to the children here. So I think they've put in a tremendous effort, because this university is just not about offering degrees. This university is passionate about offering what they do. And I think there are some extremely passionate people amongst us, including Dilip Chhabria, who's our board member, and the automobile design school that we have, because some of the designs coming out of these fantastic students and their ideas are just incredible. In fact, some of the designs are now in production by commercial vehicles, and the time will not come where I feel that every industry will have a student from the D Y Patil organization. I think the times are very different here, because it's a future that is rapidly changing, a future which is evolving over a period of time. And I think it's a technological revolution that's in progress. And it's very difficult to predict the future. So almost for you children or you graduates who are going out into the real world, I would say it's almost like boarding the 842 local in Mumbai. I think it's going to be very crowded. It's going to be very difficult. And the journey is not going to be easy. But through that, I think you have to navigate your path through success. You have to create your own future and anticipate what the future holds for you, because the future is very different from what it was when I graduated, or perhaps the generation before me graduated. So you truly have a challenge, but I think you also have an opportunity, because I think there are certain trends which you can visualize, which you can understand as to where you're heading, and you have great opportunities, because areas and sectors which didn't earlier exist are today in existence. And I think if you talk of the internet, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and there are so many fascinating areas that are emerging. Probably by the time you are employed or will employ people, there'll be many other emerging areas, because technology is changing at such a rapid pace. Never in the history of mankind we've seen so much progress done so rapidly. I think when we say that shikshan, like you say education, the literal translation of shikshan, the Sanskrit word for education, is learning at every moment. And I think it's important to encapsulate this feeling in you, because it's not a degree that you go out with to face the real world, but I think life is a constant learning experience, and you never have to give up learning. Every moment is a learning for you. Today, even as the president of this university, I feel when we go to some other organizations, other campuses, you learn a lot from what they're doing. I was just speaking to Adar on the stage here, and he was also speaking of his experiences. And I think every person who has become successful, whether it's Bill Gates or you talk about the top leaders of this country, there is that ability to learn, constantly evolve, because the world is changing, and if you feel that you know it all, you've done it all, then I think that's where your ego comes into play. So I think you have to kill your ego, think about what you're doing for the future, because you are never educated enough. Knowledge is a pursuit of excellence. It's a permanent situation that you need to keep evolving and learning. And that's the true ethos of the Indian culture that our gurus have taught us over a period of time. So I think that's very important that you inculcate this when you go out of this campus, because I would imagine that we've put in a lot of moral values into you. So you will need to continually develop your knowledge. You will need to continually develop on your skills and evolve. I think today would be an apt occasion to speak about the diversity of our nation, because as a united India, we see so many communities come together, and institutes or educational campuses really are sort of equalizers in a sense, because when a rich boy comes into this campus, when a poor boy comes into a campus, they sort of amalgate, they work together for that pursuit of achieving his dream. And there is no caste, there is no creed, there is no religion. They work as one mass, and they become a student, they become an organization. And I think as a campus, as a people, we should give this message to the world. I speak in context because recently also we had some riots in the Koregaon area, and these riots were based on caste politics, and I was greatly pained because we speak about our nation as a great nation, as a nation of culture, as a nation of ethos, and then suddenly you see in the news that shocking incidences of violence and behavior which is uncalled for. But to imagine human beings behave like that, it's by itself, it just beats me that someone can go to this level. So as children from this university, I think you have to set an example, because as an organization, we try our best to inculcate the spirit of diversity into you. Because if there is a difference of opinion, I think you have to respect that difference. You have to accept that difference. And if you want to fight it, you should fight it in democratic methods, in a form that is acceptable to other communities. So I think one message that I would like to give from this university platform is that we are one people, we are one nation, and we should work for the development and for the humanity of this world. Charles Dickens, in the very first sentence of his novel, David Copperfield, says, "Whether I will be the hero of my life or whether that task will fall to someone else, these pages will show. The same is the position where you stand today. It is up to you to write your own future or let somebody else guide you to it." By general convention, it is likely that you would change jobs multiple times. In your first few years of professional life, it is also equally probable that your first job is not getting to be your last job, because you will switch multiple jobs. But to succeed in a constantly changing world, you will need to focus on high standards of excellence. I think excellence will be rewarded wherever you go. So wherever you go, students, I think keep that excellence in mind and the pursuit of perfection, and you will never fail. To talk a little bit about life and speak about the journey, I think every person who has been successful, perhaps we look at them and then say, how did this person become so successful? What did he to achieve this success? But I think behind every success, there is a story, there is a struggle. And I think there is a tremendous struggle, there is tremendous hard work. So no task is easy. I say this because your generation Z or generation X, and this generation wants instant results, wants instant gratitude. But the path to success is not easy. The path to success is paved with struggle, is paved with a lot of hard works. So be prepared for the challenges you face, because we are over 1 billion people in our country, 6 billion over the planet. So I think we have to compete in those. And there are only a few who make it to the top. Amongst them, we have a few dignitaries sitting on the stage. So we're greatly fortunate that such excellent people have come to this campus. But tomorrow, the day after, I want you to be coming here as chief guest to this dais and presenting the audience. I want you to become great and succeed. Each of you leaves us today to find his own life. Over the years, you will encounter new opportunities. You should be conscious of them, If you have that extraordinary vision, I'm sure you will change the world. In the end, I would like to quote Steve Jobs and John Lennon. Steve Jobs, while delivering his commencement address at Stanford University, said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's dream. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown your own inner voice. Do what your heart says and do what your heart pleases, and then you will succeed surely." So I think these are very deep words. You may need to remember them. You may need to understand them. And I also remember very intentionally the song that John Lennon sang, Imagine. And I think he very greatly sums it up in a sense that if you imagine a world without boundaries, if you imagine a world without caste, if you imagine a world without creed or differences between humans, and I spoke earlier about this, I think we should all strive for that world which is excellent, which lives together for the development and betterment of humanity, to make this a nation a wonderful place to live in. While going, I would just say a few words because I remember my mother very fondly. And it would not be right for me if I didn't speak about her, because she would be extremely pleased. She's no more with us, but this campus was her dream come true. And I've worked relentlessly for this campus. My father's blessings have been here. There are a lot of people supporting, using their abilities to create this center of excellence. But मैं कहूँगा कि mother's love you can never get, or father's love you can never get. Mata gives you mamta and Pita gives you shamta. So these are two things which you will never be able to understand how they give. So it's very important to understand that what love your parents have given you, the sacrifices they have put in to keep you in these institutions. They have paid your fees, they have paid your tuitions, they have struggled to their lives just to see that child succeed. So I think it's very important that each one of you recognize that guardian, that father, that mother who gave you this ability to be here at this graduation. So ladies and gentlemen, I won't take too much of your time, but I'm truly delighted to be present here for this lovely, lovely occasion. And I think let the celebrations begin.